G'day, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto Happy Hour. Happy Friday.
G'day.
To my old mates.
Oh, True Blue made it in the intro.
Blue. I love that. He snuck in the back door.
Like I was always here, guys.
Pre-roll.
What are you talking?
He was here. Yeah, he was here the whole time.
Yeah.
G'day to Base Radiant as well. Dev, full stack dev, and all round nice guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How are you guys going?
Good.
Going good. Yeah. Smashing it.
Just coffee today. So unfortunately,
Yes.
on the beans.
After my experiment with not drinking after 56 weeks, I thought actually it's a lot easier to stream when you're not half cut. So I'm actually just not drinking again this week.
Yeah.
So cheers anyway.
Lovely.
It's fun.
Very
it's fun.
nice.
Maybe towards the end. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe I should put it in the chat. Does it get plastered during the streams? Yes or no?
Yeah. When you're charting crap coins, that's the ultimate time.
Depends what type of bastard we're talking, Like probably not hexy bastard plastered, but
True.
couple under the belt, not bad.
It was more of a gentleman's snifter of scotch, it wasn't just full blown. But it did make it harder, I tell you what. Yeah, it's always harder. Last week I didn't drink because of the grading, but success, brown belt, nailed it.
Oh yeah.
Well done. That's so good.
Cheers. And I came out relatively unscathed, so that was good. But yeah, let's say hello to the chat and see what is up. So we've got Claz in the house. Howdy. Quinn and Jen, yo. Hex to make a local higher high during this stream. That's how we do it.
Let's do
Stream pump. Let's do
higher
it.
Highs.
Like the good old RH days.
Seems to be programmed in, We're getting pumps on the stream. Looks pretty good.
That's
Mate,
it.
Hex to the
effect
Hex
we
to
have.
$1. Hex to $1. It's like it's pre-programmed. So we're going to the moon. We've started our moon mission. Hence the thumbnails. I'm literally already in space, which is quite handy.
Good work. You're front running the competition.
Yeah. Plus, I'm not in any jurisdiction, so I can't get done with this information.
Yeah, that's
so your friend Somi, shout out. Love your work. Hardest working guy in crypto, like without a doubt.
Full stop.
Highest content producer. He literally just pumps out like 3-4 videos a day, probably more. And they're all pretty insightful. So I don't know how he does it.
Always very detailed. It's not just like a slap together. There's always plenty to take from it. So it's pretty good.
And hilarious.
Welcome to everyone. Richard Hart court date is October 31st. Hex is pumping big time. Let's go. Big strength in the Hex PLS ratio, PLSX. Yes, so PLSX has actually been outperforming PLS as well. So so Hex is just on an absolute moon mission. PulseChain 20x to flip Cardanzo. Ecosystem still cheap. Big time.
Yeah.
We're literally still below SAC for Pulse. It's just starting. It's just priming the engines. It's just getting the rockets ready. Just getting approval for launch. So there's still time to get in, pack your bags, all that sort of stuff. Because these are. So I was actually going to talk about this. I think in my mind, alt season hasn't actually started. So you get these pumps, you get these bubbles in different sectors where it inflates in sort of whatever the narrative is at the time. So it might be real world assets or whatever, AI, GameFi, Solana, Jeet coins, whatever it is, you get this inflation bubble. And there's just these little pockets and there's narratives. But really alt season is different. I mean, most people would know what it's like the full hysteria that you get from alt season. But to me, it really starts when the ETH BTC ratio flips. Like when the ETH BT ratio starts to pump. Like that's the start. And we haven't seen that. We've seen ETH BTC going down since the merge. And altcoins, like ETH is the number one alt. Like it is what it is. Alt season doesn't really start till ETH starts pumping. That's what I think. You can have these little sectors going off, but the proper alt season is when you are making so much paper gains, like weekly. It outruns like your job, and you literally have to think, if I get any grief today, I'm just going to quit my job because it's far outperforming.
That meme of like the boss talks down to you and you're like, "What's your turn?" You got the confidence, like,
shut your mouth.
Yeah.
when you get that kind of confidence, when you're like, shut your mouth to your boss or whatever, check out my Staker app. That's when you know you're in alt season.
There's that meme like, I'm calling in rich. It's like, can't wait for that day.
I haven't heard that. That's good. Calling in rich.
Yeah.
I'm far too rich.
No, I'd like to take rich leave.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Just say, look, it's a mental health day. I'm just far too rich to put up with this bullshit. So that's what I'm talking about. Like and we haven't seen that. I feel like the ETH
Why didn't you come
BTC
into
ratio.
work? I don't need the money.
Exactly. It's a different mindset. So it's interesting to check these ratios for sure. I think Pulse will have its day, and it's just the fact that Hex has got the lowest liquidity, so it's just pumping the most. And I did sort of prophesize that maybe there would be a massive pump like before the trial, and then maybe bleed into the trial. That was my speculation some months ago. So and also, we've had CZ's out of jail.
Yeah.
He's gone in and
got ripped.
He's done his time, and he's put it to good use, just getting jacked, just becoming Richard Hart Maxi.
Tatted up. RH Maxi.
He's got more Hex tats than T-Bird.
Looks like he's even grown.
Yeah. He's done well.
He's over 6 foot. Look at that.
There you go. Yeah. So look, maybe it was that. It was CZ out of jail.
Yeah. It's the push-ups and pull-ups.
That's right. You got to do it. Don't skip leg day either, peeps. This is your friendly reminder.
100%. Exactly.
That's
exactly.
Right.
Hey, last week you were saying, we were talking about really looking for a green weekly close for Bitcoin. Did we end up getting that or not? I don't think we quite did we?
I nailed that call. I couldn't have nailed it any harder. So this was the BTC thing. And I was saying this line of resistance was back from like April 2021. And I was saying, I don't know if you can see that. Like, I haven't touched this chart. I was like saying, check the weekly close to see whether it closes above this green line here.
Yep.
And look at that shit. It did not close above it. Like to the pixel, I can't even.
To the pixel. That's crystal ball.
And then look what happened. It got rejected. It didn't close above it, and it went down.
Yep. Damn.
Wizardry.
I mean, I'm going to say I don't make this shit up, but I literally do make this shit up. But it just happens like a lot where I'm going, wow.
Okay. Everyone else is drawing the same lines.
Yeah, it's a place to be, right here.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. Doz's TAs
the alpha
pretty well on point at the moment. So
it's even wicked down. It's even wicked down to this other green line that I drew.
Yeah. Start drawing some lines up.
I just draw lines and it just comes true, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
And then so on the daily, it's pretty much gone down from that 65K. But this is what it has to do. Like, in order to meet my target of like busting through that 70K in November 10, November 11, which I've been talking about for a long time. I've been talking about that since like last year or whatever. And it was already at like 65K back then. I was like, the only way it's going to do that is if it grinds sideways, like really painfully for like whatever it is, a year. And that's exactly what it's done. It's literally just grinded sideways. So yeah, I'm not I'm kind of surprised, but also that's what I said would happen. So it's weird when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, the macro thing's playing into that, isn't it? Like they mentioned there was, shots fired type thing, and it's like, yeah, all of a sudden there's another week.
But it's just like, isn't it a coincidence, bro, when you get these macro events that just give you that wall of worry to climb, and it just everything just sort of fits into this perfect range.
Yeah.
And you're kind of thinking, are they manufacturing some kind of cycle news or some sort of event in real world events just because they're trying to steer a market towards a certain range? Oh, geez, I wouldn't think they would do that, but
you wouldn't think so.
And either that or we're in a simulation, because it's just.
No, I don't know. There's enough money at play. If you can run news, like you own news companies,
it's probably more likely
you can print a narrative and you have investments at the same time. It's not rocket science to think that they would collude to some effect.
Tell me more.
I don't know. I don't have I don't have any evidence, but
I'm suspicious.
I'm just saying,
if you've ever watched any of those,
BlackRock has the ETF, right? BlackRock probably owns a lot of news companies, corporations, and there's like other things that they own and invest where they could disseminate news in such a way that it's like, this is what we want to happen, but we're going to guise it as news. It's the news. Yes. And then it happens, it plays out, and they make bank. And people think news doesn't make money. And that's right to some extent. It doesn't. They kind of run at a loss, but it's an arm of like a greater thing.
I think you're right, man.
Is
I think you're 100% right.
My tinfoil hat.
And I think the way that they frame news events as well, like it's just spin. Like that's nothing new under the sun. Yeah. Like spin has been around since day dot. So but if you ever look at some of those political satire, like comedy shows, and they're like talking about a couple of good ones. There was Yes Minister, I think, was a UK one, and there was an Australian equivalent. But they're talking about, and I've seen a couple of good ones as well. There's one with Kelsey Grammer, where I think it was called Boss. And it was interesting the way that they structured news cycle events, because they realize that there's narratives, and you have competing narratives, and you want to downplay certain things and then pump up other things. And when you realize that that's how even the media themselves are being played, because they're being fed it in a certain way to either
and it filters down onto social media. So it starts in newspapers and it moves on to social media, where people are perpetuating it and they're not even part of these organizations and media companies, right? So the agenda is kind of set from like press releases and just printing news, and like that, it all comes through a certain filter, and then the public gets hold of it with this narrative, this filter, this way of thinking about a issue or a problem, this way it's been painted.
Yes.
And that gets perpetuated by people uptake it, and then they have the same ideology as the thing. It just is this.
Yeah, it's a coincidence that they're.
It's not really a coincidence. It's just
no. I'm being sarcastic. Like I'm saying, it's like so.
That's
there's
how
a Noam
media works.
There's a Noam Chomsky. I'm probably butchering.
Yeah, I love Noam Chomsky. I don't know about I think he's a little bit socialist, but
I don't agree with all this shit. Like he has like
Manufacturing Consent is an amazing book.
Yes, I was going to say he's got a doco as well, but the book, Manufacturing Consent, which is
it's a slog, but I think I've made it through most of it.
Yeah, and I disagree with a lot of the stuff that he says, but some of it is very interesting. So check that out if you want to. But yeah, the way that this, because True Blue, you were saying there's been a bit of war in the Middle East going on, like with Lebanon and Iran and Israel and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of happened not that long ago, and everyone was like, it's World War III, and then it just played out. And so now they're doing it, they're rehashing it again. I think people are like, the markets are less spooked, like maybe they've priced it in. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it sucks that if they are playing with things, that, you know, that it's conflict in people's lives, you know, being played as well, not financially, but, you know, physically and whatever. That really sucks. So anyone that's in the middle,
terrible. Yeah, that's
my heart
horrible
goes
to think that people, they could be literally like encouraging, you know, coconut intelligence, whatever agencies could be, because they've never done this in the past. You know, they might be giving weapons to militia or propping up, you know, local militias and things like that to stir up trouble or to do coups in certain countries or whatever. You never know.
That would never happen.
That
No
would
way.
never happen. There's no way. There's no historical evidence of that ever happening.
Yeah, it goes to show how much actual care there is, doesn't it? Like,
how
much actual care there is for the human race when it comes to these higher powers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's all
that's,
game.
That's the sad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the actual human, the reality of the war at the cold face. Yeah, it's brutal, and that's why I'm anti-war. It's just like, it's all good in theory until you have to be there, like dodging bullets just whizzing past your head or something. Like that's a different kind of.
I can't even. I can't imagine. Like I couldn't be empathetic because like I haven't experienced that. Like I've lived too well.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
But you see imagery, and it's like, God, like this is
but
not
at least
what humans today should be doing.
Yeah, at least we can acknowledge that we don't really know what it's like to be in a warfare, but we acknowledge that based on our limited sort of subset sort of understanding, that it still sounds terrible enough that I'm not I don't want to endorse it or
no, you don't. You don't
condone it. But see, a lot of people do, which is the crazy thing, is that they just kind of go, oh yeah, we've got to go to war because we've got to do this and protect this country, and you kind of go on, who's going to war? Are you going to war? No, you're not going, but you want other people
waving a flag and getting angry on Facebook. You know, it's like, well, but
you're not going. Just to be clear,
you're
not actually going though. But you still are all for the warfare in whichever country it is. But just to be clear,
we've got to liberate Ukraine. No,
it's like a big talk, like
just peace at all costs, because like, the cost is too high no matter what.
It's like talking it up in a fight or something. Oh, I'm gonna this guy beat this guy or whatever.
Especially when they're not.
Someone else can do it. But I'm not.
I've seen people like really in favor of. I don't want to bring up sides, but like people really in favor of Palestine, and they're not. They don't know anyone from Palestine. They're not citizens from Palestine. They're not. I don't have a dog in the fight, and neither do they. And they'll be just viscerally attacking anyone staunchly on the opposition to their ideology. It's like
it's very tribal.
This is
very tribal.
Yeah,
it's just they've picked a side.
I don't want to emphasize one side over the other, but
it doesn't matter which side.
Interesting
it's arbitrary
state of the affairs. Yeah.
Look, the same thing happened with religion, man. And I don't want to talk about religion and politics and stuff, but you get some,
it's
some
getting
people
dangerous
that are straight into
it.
Yeah. But you know, people like they go to war over tiny nuances in ideologies that actually have very similar kind of, like if you look at, say, let's be one that no one's going to get triggered over, but like say in Ireland, is it how they have the orange and the greens, and it's like the Catholic Protestant sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
you would say fairly minor differences between Catholics and Protestants, but not to Irish people, not to the IRA, like not to the guys who are bombing in the streets, like
it's like
yeah, but they're both kind of Christianity,
like
right?
semantic differences of interpretations of a book.
Yeah. So anyway, let's not make True Blue any more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Than he already is.
We're all like, oh,
it's all cool.
Dangerous.
Let's just
Yavain's comment. Humans aren't logical.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very true. Except for occasionally. Where like I was talking about this ETH BTC channel, and I was like, geez, ETH is right down the very bottom of it, and it's just bounced off it basically, but it's still in that downtrend. It's still below the 20. So this is what I was talking about with alt season. Until I see ETH BTC like break out of this channel and even retest that channel, like we've got a long way to go. We're seeing some pumps and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it looks like it's Hex's turn at the moment. So, you know, saying sometimes you get these different bubbles popping off here and there. I mean, the Hex chart has got zero chill.
No, it's gunning.
It's been going off.
Good. Is it gone?
Running.
Have we got it up above 0.015 yet during this stream?
Yes.
Look out.
Let me just
we just started,
pull this up. So look at this go, man. Just on its moon mission. This is like ground control to Major Tom, man. This shit.
Amazing. So good.
And I've got some sort of so if I've got purple lines, it's probably a higher time frame resistance. So I've got weekly resistance for some reason here at 0.155. That's that purple. And we're literally testing it now on stream. So let's go. If we can close the week above that and even maybe retest it, but I don't care if we don't retest it, we just keep busting through. Then yeah, it's Lambos for all.
I'm really interested to see what happens once we can break past the all-time high on that new, you know, the fresh chart, let's call it. What happens there, and then what happens to the E-hex and P-hex ratio once we do break above that. Just, you know, I'm not saying what will happen or any ideas like that. Just is going to be really interesting to see it play out.
Bro, Hex Pulse has just like the ratio is at 285 pulse per hex now. Oh look, that did a retest. So this line at 2, I don't know what this was.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, there you go. Here it is again.
Yeah.
Does a TA showing some stuff. So on the weekly, this was, I would have said, resistance at 227, 228 pulse per hex. And then it basically went up and just retested it and just like it came back down. And now it's making higher highs. So
very nice.
Oof. Yeah, that's just insane. That the hex pulse ratio. There's got to be some people out there that are thinking, I doubted hex. Yeah, maybe I should have rotate some pulse into hex.
For sure, definitely. What about? Did you guys see the E-Deci pump? It was like yesterday or the day before.
Oh yeah,
no, I didn't.
I don't know, but pumped like 60 or 80% above, where it was at. Yeah, pretty good. And that even, I think, by memory, that even sort of followed the run up E-hex had. Like it was low. It was fairly low price still, as we've been saying for months now. But yeah, it really sort of got moving.
So I'm not sure if this is E-Deci.
The next one down, the one with the Ethereum logo, I reckon.
Oh, yeah. Damn it. Not drinking has its disadvantages because when I do dumb shit, I can't blame like the fact that I've been drinking.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Doz's not that smart after all. He was just hiding behind his alcoholism.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
in the grand scheme of things, it's not that great, but yeah, it just started to
zoom
move
out. It's hard to see it, but certainly on the daily. Well, I don't know what happened there though.
That's a big arb, like a massive candle and then a sell down.
But I mean, the liquidity aspect, like, so Hex has got 33 million, so you know, roughly 16 on the Hex side, like for sale. So that's not a lot compared to, say, Pulse here. There's 52 in the PulseX pair. There's another 38 million in the Ink pair, and then another 20 million in the wrapped ETH pair. So you can see why the one with the lowest liquidity is like got the highest gains. Like it's literally 8% up for the day. So I mean, I know technically E-hex has the lowest liquidity, and I'm surprised no one's like pulled me up on that, because it's, you know, it's 1.1 mil versus did we say 32 mil or something like that?
Yeah.
So technically EHEX has, but look at the volume. So the daily volume for EHEX is 117K. The daily volume for PHEX is 3.4 million.
Yeah, nuts.
I'm talking orders of magnitude higher.
Yeah, big time.
Yes, the liquidity is lower, but the buy pressure is also way lower as well. So it's an interesting thing because some people, I mean, so Bitcoin obviously has, it outperforms the stock market, has more liquidity than all the other altcoins, and it just kind of goes down in sort of, you know, market cap almost, where you can get better ROI in lower liquidity coins. Like they have more volatility and they can pump more and dump more, right? But the price of having low liquidity is your extraction value.
Yeah.
So this is why when I talk about, you know, some coin having, you know, not enough, like whatever it was, I was saying, there's less money in that pair than Johnny Chaos's Halloween decorations.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And it's like, feel free to like put some analogies in the chat to help me out. But that low liquidity, it's great for pumpage in terms of meme coins and things, but it's not great for when you're trying to extract value at the top of that bull.
Unless you're the first one trying to get out and you don't have a massive bag, you just have a, you know, substantial bag. Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's the problem is because if you're saying, oh, well, this coin XYZ did 1000x. Yeah, but if you only put in, or even, so okay, 1000x is crazy. So let's say it did say it did 100x or even a 10x, you know.
Yeah.
But if you only put in $100, yeah, you made like, you know, a 10x, so $1,000 or $10,000. That's great, but you're not going to change your life with $10,000.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about, we want generational wealth where we can retire, pay off houses, buy a house for your parents or whatever it is. Like that's what we're in this for.
Absolutely.
And that's the risk, you know, so we're accepting the risk of it could all go to zero for the possibility of making generational wealth. But you have to think about the extraction in terms of liquidity in some of these pairs. And if you think, okay, you've got $1,000 and you expect it to do 1000x to get your million. Okay, well, the guy who had $100,000 in there has now got 100 million.
Yeah.
Because they've all done 1000x. And there's not 100 million in that liquidity pair. So just think about what you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been saying, you know,
just slice of the pie.
Definitely. Yeah. And, you know, the whole talk at the beginning was, oh, all these new coins and meme coins are going to be what bring, you know, opens people's eyes to PulseChain. And I agree in some ways they'll, you know, go on the charts or whatever and see some big movers. But at the end of the day, like you're saying, it's, you know, you're not going to get a lot out of it, but it might bring the eyes over to see, you know, what's going on over here and then change your mind and get onto Hex and PulseChain and things like that. But yeah, the meme coins are great. Don't get me wrong. And you could get some good pumps on them, but yeah, setting good ways of getting out, even if you're setting LP positions to, you know, as a ladder or something to slowly,
that's a good way.
Slowly get out of it.
Over time.
It's the best way.
Yeah. Exiting through liquidity. If say you're in like a pulse die pair and then pulse is going up, then you're slowly getting more die. Yes, there's impermanent loss, things like that. But if you're a big player, you don't wreck the chart.
And you get fees while you're at it, which is
as long as it's not one of these tokens that's going to zero in like 2 hours, then you've got to get out. But
you
don't have time to mess around with liquidity. But that in real proper long-term hold tokens like the IH ecosystem, which is kind of what they're built for.
And look, BankX has been selling behind the scenes. I see them, I get alerts every time they sell, and I'm just like,
keep going, please.
Stop drinking soy, but also, keep selling because I want you to sell the lows. So there is a few interesting things like that going on. for long-term, stakes that you've still got on the Ethereum side. I'm just going to say hello to the chat. We've got Clintrons. What is good? Oh, Ross Green's in the house. Hey, mate. You're welcome to come on if you want. Ross, say hello.
For sure. It sounds like he's having some beers in there, enjoying himself at the moment. But I've included here, sent him a link as well, and he said he might come on maybe next week or something.
Cool. Now that I'm not drinking, I've got beer envy.
Yeah. So his
beers.
You remember his book that he's written? That's just been the paperback version just come out. So
cool.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, and people can get that on Amazon if they want. It's got a bit about PulseChain. Yeah.
Good morning, Finbear. How's the chickens, mate?
Hey.
The Apnean rubbery figures was hilarious.
Was that a Sommy thing? Maybe I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but
not sure.
Someone's going to let us know.
Having a beer. Oh yeah. That's what you were just saying. Awesome. That's cool. You guys feel free to pull up these comments if you can see them as well, because sometimes I miss.
I've never used StreamYard that extensively.
We might.
Yeah, you have to.
You might need to come in.
I see.
Yeah, cool. KD's one there. Just this one here quickly about the base. 10 days. I've been watching that one very closely. So 10 days till its second round is coming out. So very cool.
Is it at a discount? Is the number one question.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, it normally gets close. Yeah, it reaches the treasury value.
And it's been traveling pretty level, actually, pretty on par. So
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
So no way I can argue the difference. G'day to Yaveen. Woohoo, let's go. Replay gang. Yeah, Yaveen's awesome. Always saying hello, always commenting. Much appreciated, Yaveen. Bit Finesse, another legend. I always hope there would be less war. Younger generations have better info via the internet. No, young people still do dumb as shit. Yeah. Is it the younger generation that are causing the wars though? I guess by proxy because they're voting for it, but really it's the establishments that are sending the younger generations into war. But yeah, it's terrible, man. I have to agree with that. Fundamentals are heavily lacking in crypto. Hex has a bound for destiny. Yeah, look, there was a couple of I think it was Banter was during the week. He wasn't a huge fan of our bubbles. Let me just see if I can find this. Was it this? Oh no, it was probably Sommy's one. Yeah, shout out to Sommy and Mrs. Hexagon, who I got some of the stuff from, and whoever else. Right, let me just pull this up. Can you guys hear this? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear it. God damn it.
Yeah. Sometimes you have issues playing, at least for us. I don't know if it plays for the audience.
I think it's because it's
I think it does actually play for the audience.
Let me try one more time. Can you guys hear?
It was up a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot. I see, just for the Hicks and Pulse people, there's your buttons back there. I don't know why you guys are getting so excited. I hid this bubble for so long. I went back just to see, how things going there, guys. I mean, what are we we're almost at we're just recovering from YOLOs. Okay, maybe you guys have got a point. Anyway, very excited to see that usually get alt season. And you can kind of see when you look at the bubbles.
So many people are like this. It doesn't make sense.
Because he's not paid to shill us. That's why.
Yeah, he's not paid to shill us. He's probably paid to shill something else. But
But look at this giant PHEX bubble right in his face, though.
Yeah.
He's got
I don't know what you guys are on about.
Giant PHEX balls right in his face. He's getting teabagged by the PHEX ball. And he's just oh yeah, I don't know about what you're talking about, guys. Oh, what, that giant ball that's teabagging you?
Yeah.
See it there, bro. It's right there. Oh, then look at this monthly
on alts.
So that was
I love this video.
But
I actually don't. Yeah.
But look at that. That's the monthly.
Yeah. Wow.
So what's that? It's probably must be 270% or something, which is probably even higher now.
Yeah. If that was one of the meme coins he's been shilling, like he'd be jumping up and down about it, you know, and yeah, just nothing, just sour.
Exactly.
That's all he's got.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, the gatekeeping, you know, we've seen it on CoinMarketCap. We've seen it on.
It seems like a concerted effort of some few individuals. Like I think maybe Binance is doing it. I don't know, but there's like I think they're actually paying people to repress the coin because it doesn't happen with other tokens. I've been in other communities and this style thing, and it's always they always have the same tonality of like, oh, it's hex, disgusting. What are you back at all-time highs? Like, it's like the I don't know what it is, but it's like it really is.
Well, I
like
see it as
some sort of slush fund going around to just sit on the price. I don't know. I'm conspiratorial. Yeah,
I think they're just salty for starters because RH has just schooled a lot of these people like in debate.
That's true. Actually, he's made a lot of enemies.
He's made a lot of enemies, which is kind of hilarious. But also, so they're all salty because they've been drubbed by him. And then they've seen that his coins outperformed them in the past with the 10,000X. So now it's just that Schadenfreude thing where they just like to see down and out and sort of kicking them down when they're down, saying, "Oh, look, they're oh, what are you invested in? Or Pulse or whatever? Oh, that's rubbish." And it's like, yeah, but check out that giant bubble like next to your head, bro. So I don't mind that they gatekeep in a sense because the thing that RH said is that you know, closed doors can only open. No, but closed doors can only open. So like at some point, if everyone is saying that Solana is the best thing in the world and they're having conferences about it and circle jerking each other saying that Solana is the way of the future, well then everyone knows about it and it's priced in. Like everyone's, you know, you might get a 2x or something, but you want the hated coins that everyone's like not talking about and purposefully gatekeeping, because when it does just organically pump, like which when we've seen, and when it does just, you know, have giant green dillies, then they'll just change their tune and they'll just say, "Oh yeah, I've been a hex believer since for way back." The whole time.
Me and RH, we're best friends.
Yeah, I actually sacrificed for PulseChain and all this stuff, and they'll
I believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah. They say, I sacrificed, but I didn't want to shill it because, you know, of what was going on with the court case, and I thought I wouldn't put that on you guys. Meanwhile, they're shilling like meme coins that go to zero in like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're taking allocations.
They've been given a founder allocation of
They're shilling and dumping at the same time.
Same time. Yeah.
So,
I like one guy who kind of sometimes will speak ill of Hex, but I still like him, and that's Ivan on Tech because he's honest. He's actually honest. He's like, "Where's the pump, guys? I sacked. Where's the pump?" And like, here comes the pump and whatever. But like, he's not this like perniciously disingenuous kind of. He cares. He cares.
Yeah, he wants to see a pump. Yeah.
So like that seems like a better state of mind. I think people should. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know what the point I'm getting at, but there's
no. I know what you're saying.
Still be sad about not gains and not like shit on it. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear.
Yeah, look, altcoin daily and these guys, like they're just soy boy cucks is what it boils down to.
There's a handful of like,
I mean, so because somebody talks about this, but it is very true. Like the Ethereum guys, I mean, like I say, Vitalik and Hayden Adams having pony parties and stuff like that. And they're soy boy cucks, but they're kind of inviting these layer 2 chains to come on and take their girlfriends. That's what they're doing. They're like, come on and onto Ethereum and have your own layer 2, and you can use all of our tokens and have all of our DeFi apps and everything. and take all the data, all the volume off chain, and now my Gwei is like in the single digit Gweis, and they're like, oh
ETH price
guys,
back.
what's going on?
Gas price is back up because I was trying to do a Uniswap swap and I didn't have enough funds for it. Yeah, it might not be today, but over the last like 2 weeks, it's been going back up steadily, up and down, like fluctuating, but it's getting there. Like if you had to end like a
6 Gwei,
3-year hex stake,
it's 5 Gwei.
It's all right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it was bad.
5 Gwei.
Like when I tried to do some stuff on Ethereum.
Oh yeah. No, it still spikes. Don't get me wrong. Like it can still spike, but 5 Gwei, like literally the average is 5.3, and we're in single digits with decimals. And this is because the layer 2s have taken all their volume and their girlfriends. So I don't have a lot of
remember, it was because of PulseChain.
True.
We saved it.
Yeah,
we did it. Mission accomplished, guys. We reduced the Gwei, the gas on Ethereum by launching PulseChain. So we did it. I noticed a couple of things from the macro point of view. So this is the M2 like money supply. I think includes certificate of deposits and things like that. And then so this is the zombie virus, spicy cough, where they just like printed whatever it was, 40% of the total supply in that period. Yeah. And it's looking like it's starting to kick off again. So if you look historically, and I think Jexa actually had a really good chart where he was plotting.
Dozza, you just dropped out.
No, he was all good for me.
Oh, really? Oh, my bad. That was me then. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. All good. All good.
I'll mute myself for a minute.
That's good. So Jexa had a really good chart. Shout out to Jexa, DeFi Down Under crew and all-round legend. So this is Bitcoin on the weekly versus the M2 money supply. So you can certainly see how when the M2 was busting up like into the 20 trillion, all this sort of stuff, that was when BTC started doing its big run. And if you look at it over a longer time frame, it also is a bit more obvious. But it's basically hit that inflection point and it's starting to go up. And we've seen that with the global liquidity index as well. But it does sort of flow down from least risky to risky assets. So one thing I've noticed is there's been a bit of a narrative change with like say BlackRock CEO Larry Fink. He was talking about actually I'll just play the video so you can see what's up. Hang on a sec.
Hedge against inflation.
All right, thumbs up if you can hear this, Bruce.
And also, I believe the role of crypto, it's digitizing gold in many ways. Instead of investing in gold as a hedge against inflation or the devaluation of your currency, whatever country you're in, Bitcoin is an international asset. It's not based on any one currency. And so it can represent an asset that people can play as an alternative. And also,
So isn't that interesting? Like everything he says there is fascinating.
He's got a bag. He's got a bag.
Oh, this is the CEO of BlackRock. Like let's not ourselves. They got the ETF, like the Bitcoin ETF. But every point of this, so let's just hang into. I'm just going to pause it in a second.
And also, I do believe the role of crypto, it's digitizing gold.
So that's their meme, right? So digital gold for Bitcoin.
That is like 6 years behind on the rhetoric of like what Bitcoin is. Yeah. Right.
Well, the white paper Bitcoin, right, is about peer-to-peer cash. The peer-to-peer decentralized money. It's about peer-to-peer cash.
BitTorrent of money almost. Like that was what they were.
Yeah, I mean, I could pull up the Bitcoin white paper, but it's the title of it is peer-to-peer cash.
Cash.
But that's not what it is now. Because these guys have just changed it. They've spun it. We talked about the spin earlier of like and narratives and things. It's no longer that. It is a store of value, and there's more money in stores of value. And it makes more sense to investors.
Number go up.
From his point of view, from BlackRock's point of view, if they think of it as being digital gold.
Larry thinks of it. Sorry, that was
he thinks of it.
What does he think of it? Yeah, he thinks good of it. Yeah,
that's right. If you've got a lisp,
that was rude. That
was good.
Okay. I'll just quickly keep this going. Hang on a sec.
In many ways, instead of investing in gold as a hedge against inflation
so they're treating Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. We know inflation's high as, right? And now the rate of inflation is decreasing, but it's already like the damage is done. So it's like he's signaling to all his investors, oh, well, I don't know if you've heard of a little thing called inflation. Well, the answer is Bitcoin. It's hilarious.
Devaluation of your currency, whatever country you're in. Bitcoin is an international asset. It's not based on any one currency. And so it can represent an asset that people can play as an alternative. And
so that idea of, because you've used the word flight to quality before. So in the times of uncertainty and where there's maybe wars going on and sort of geographical, international conflict, then there's this flight to quality. And it used to be a flight to safety, but they've re-spun it, right? It's not flight to safety, flight to quality. And so it transcends borders. It's not, so if you've got one country that has high inflation, the US or whatever, or maybe Argentina or wherever, it doesn't matter because Bitcoin is always retaining, it's like, you can see how they're doing it. And I don't trust them from a bar of soap. Like, no. I think that they're snakes, and it's actually a bit of a shame that they've got their sticky mitts all over Bitcoin. But still better that they are shilling crypto at the highest level to these funds like the ETFs and the Morgan Stanley introducing it to all of their investors. Then still better that they're doing that than if
calling it like money laundering index,
calling it criminal.
Like
yes,
that. Yeah, and I think Larry Fink's on record saying stuff like that. I think
because they've changed their tune, and that's the thing is. So when people used to talk about Hex being a scam or whatever, it's like they used to call Bitcoin a scam. Like they literally would be like, "Oh, Bitcoin, criminals use that. Yeah. That's for buying drugs on Silk Road."
Yeah, they can't deny it. They can't. It can't take it away. They can't get rid of it. They can't slander it. So now that they're very late to the game, they're going to try and manipulate it. But they're all buying on exchanges and centralized crap, and that still means that us with private offline wallets can still participate with their funds in the marketplace, the free and open marketplace. And so our number go up when their number go up, and we're earlier to the party than they are. But
so we're leverage on that play in a sense because we're lower liquidity, so we have more volatility.
I was just speaking about Bitcoin generally, but
but that's the thing. So they were hating on Bitcoin. Yeah, they were hating on Bitcoin, calling it scams, and then eventually now they're literally just giving it hand jobs and just saying how good it is. And then now they're calling Hex or whatever a scam, just like they did with Bitcoin. And then eventually I feel like the tide will turn and it will be legitimized. But it's just, and then so the people when everyone's correct. So when everyone who hears the BlackRock guys talking about how good Bitcoin is, they get in now, their opportunity is gone because the risk is low. So on that like risk versus opportunity curve, there's no risk in it anymore because the guys are saying that it's the safest thing in the world. Like literally on CNN, NBC or Fox or whatever business, it's got the CEO of the world's largest company coming out and saying how good it is. So therefore the risk is gone, but then the gains are also gone as well. Like, you might get Bitcoin to 100K,
yeah, like
150.
RH kind of had that argument, like who's the world's richest guy is bought. I think he said that when Elon Musk bought, or someone like that. There was someone of that nature bought.
I mean, that's a nuanced thing as well, because
who's next to buy? There is not.
Okay, so I'll push back slightly on that, only because you could have another 10 billionaires or 100 billionaires buy. So that just because one billionaire bought doesn't mean there's not a whole bunch of others out there. But the liquidity is so high that it doesn't affect the chart that much. Maybe that I don't want to speak for RH.
You can almost reach like a saturation point to some level.
There is a point where the liquidity
like
gets so high that if you get like a $1 billion buy, it just doesn't move the price that much. So we have this low liquidity, it's basically Bitcoin in its early infancy. And so the risk is way higher, but then the returns are way greater. So you have to accept that, because the people who bought into Bitcoin in 2012, they didn't know that it was going to be where it is now. They had to have a lot of brass balls.
And most of them lost their tokens. They just on stupid crap. I did the same thing.
Pizzas.
Pizzas. That pizza's just, the price of that pizza goes up every day. Like,
it's going to be $1 million pizza at some point if it's not already.
It's going to be ridiculous.
These people though.
There was llama socks as well. That was another thing, or alpaca socks. That was another big thing that a lot of people spent their Bitcoin on.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Early,
that's crazy.
Very early.
Exactly. Yeah, no, these people that are, saying, oh, now it's good, and, they're all jumping on the bandwagon. That's, we say they've changed their tune, but I don't think they've changed their beliefs. I think they're only just starting to say it because now they've got bags. But they've, personally probably had bags for years and they've believed in it for years, but they've only just managed to get things to align, to get institutionally, get their funds up and get all this happening. And so now they're changing their tune, not actually what's happening in the background. They've all got massive bags. There's no doubt about it. They would have known for a long time that this was inevitable. But it's just now they're starting to see it different. It's like that, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you. Yeah, go.
I got to head off. But
you got to go?
Thanks.
That's
I got to go.
No dramas.
Right,
thanks for having me on. Base Radian. Always a pleasure, man. Thanks for coming on. Check out Base Radian. He's a dev. He's always looking for work, I think. So, definitely. He's a programmer extraordinaire. So, check him out.
I heard he's cooking too. I heard he's cooking.
He's cooking. He's a dev. He's always cooking, bro. He's always cooking. There's nothing to do with me, but I'll let him talk about that.
No, definitely.
So, sorry, what were you saying, Triple? About that they've basically starting to shield and sort of change their tune, but you think that they haven't actually changed their belief. They've just got a big bag and they're just spruiking their bag.
Yeah, but for sure, they've just been wanting to hold off so they can, have a good entry for a long time. And that's just personally as well. Like, I know institutionally they haven't been able to do big buys and stuff, but all these guys, they've got their bags all packed and have probably for years. So, they're just ready to go. And now it's at that stage where it's like, they ignore you, then laugh at you, and then they fight you. And it's not like now we win, but it's like now, they're with us, they've changed their tune, they're on,
Now we don't lose as much.
Exactly. It's not just us.
We never actually win.
Lots of people, but
no, look, this is a thing with the BlackRock guys shilling, at a conference, and he's saying, comparing Bitcoin to US treasuries and sort of saying that, the cost to move gold is high and the cost to store gold is high, but Bitcoin is low, and but the volatility is high. It's like the supply is fixed, but US treasuries, the supply is unfixed. So it's like, I just think it's hilarious that I'm just seeing it play out, and you're kind of going, they are just starting to shield crypto at the highest levels, the institutions.
Big time.
And eventually it won't be, shunned in society. It won't be a dirty word to sort of say, because even now when people ask me and stuff, and you sort of go, oh yeah, I do some cryptocurrency investing, and they're like, what?
Exactly.
and you feel bad about saying it. And then they go, a lot of the times they go, oh yeah, for sure. Like the way the inflation's been going, it's crazy. The banks just print money. And I'm like, yeah, fully. Have you seen Hex? Like, no, here's my card.
Yeah, that's right.
Like you have to feel them out first to see, like, are they crypto pilled, or are they going to say it's a scam? So we're sort of, I don't want to say we're early, but we're still like, it's not really accepted. And then that's that whole, closed gates can only open. So the upside is still there for us, in a big way. Whereas the upside on Bitcoin is good. It's good if you've got large dollars. Like if you can put in millions of dollars into Bitcoin, well then then you don't care if it's just a 2x.
Yeah.
But for the average punter, you got to go into slightly more risky assets. But then keep in mind, like I say, you go too risky and you go into the real low liquidity stuff. Yeah, you get your 100x, but you can't extract that value out because there's not enough liquidity in the pool.
Yep.
So just be mindful of that shit.
Yep, that's exactly right. Hey, Red Squirrel, I just want to say Red Squirrel's here. Oi, oi. But
what's up?
Is it Red Squirrel or is it Fast Abdul? That's all I want to say.
Are you serious?
There is
no.
Something,
bro.
Yeah,
Red
I know.
Squirrel is from the UK.
Yeah, I know, but something very weird happened during the week. I can bring up some proof, and we'll see if Fast Abdul rocks in just after I play this.
No way.
Give me a minute. You go
Blow
through.
my mind, bro.
You say g'day in there, and I'll sort something out.
All right. Try not to dox him too hard over here, because I always thought Red Squirrel was English, like from the UK. There seem to be some themes, and Fast Abdul, I'm pretty sure, is American. So
yeah. No. I'm not out to dox anyone, but yeah, just something.
Let's start some Soto Chronicles and just like make some wild assumptions. Look, the Axis token was down, and then 35 minutes later, Dozo bought some. Therefore, he must be, it's like, what? How many other people bought? But yeah, let's make some speculations.
All right.
Before that misinformation bill comes out.
Yeah. Let's just do this before before they pass that quickly. Yeah, Fast Abdul is Canadian, like Yvonne says. But either way, I might have to skip through this a little bit just to find the right spot. But watch this.
I appreciate that, because it's what we need. Like I said, like if you want this to be a one cycle, layer one with hype, that whatever, that's fine. As well as I can on PulseChain.
If you could pull up my assistant, he has a flow chart that he's gonna show us, and then we'll go through. We can go through that.
I thought he was just in the background for moral support. Is he back yet? What's up, Squirrel? Can you hear me?
Good. Here we go.
Bro Hammer.
He's not a big talker. Don't worry. We'll work it out here.
Does he speak that language? Oi, oi, because he says oi, oi.
Okay, so
what the hell just happened?
No way.
What
is that? Is that just a picture of you now?
Oh,
that's fine.
Sorry, my screen must be frozen. Corey, is my audio still okay?
Yeah, is this a joke?
Is it ever, Corey?
I don't know. Crypto Chef, I see what you're asking. I don't know. I really don't. I learned the solo boats. Hopefully, I don't know, to be honest with you. I really don't. So, yeah, I really don't. It's
shout out to Corey Costa. He's a funny guy, and he's been putting in the work as well.
So again, not financial advice. Do what you want.
Okay, perfect. So I was just going to get my friend Squirrel here to do a quick chart for us to show sort of how the bribery protocol would work and how people would be incentivized to participate.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
You bet. So this is the logo for the two solid pool. That's the one that has Solid X and Axis Fire.
So it's just him.
2 fucks.
He's literally just.
I dare to ask, are you?
Yeah. So he's hang on. Oh, and where are we? Corey just asks.
Wow, there you go. Okay, okay.
Sorry, technical
That's enough proof for
difficulties.
me,
Get it
bro.
together,
That's
squirrel.
pretty funny.
2 secs, hang on.
Oh, that's why.
So now it's I dare to ask, are you Squirrel?
Oh, no. Squirrel is his own person, to be sure. I wouldn't adopt his identity. There we go. Okay.
Squirrel, what the hell's going on, mate?
So hang on a tick. Is he pretending to be Red Squirrel, or is he actually just Red Squirrel? Like this
Maybe
whole time?
maybe he's being bribed.
Oh, let's talk bribes. It's fully possible.
Look, oops, wrong account.
Oh no, I can't believe it.
So good.
I've been bamboozled. Well done, True Blue, for sleuthing that out, because not that it really matters, but I just didn't realize,
mate. You know, that's what I do here.
Oh, that's it. Well done.
Amazing stuff.
We finally got to the bottom of it. So hang on a tick. Did you find out who Hexalina Pulse a lot is?
Not yet. I'm
she disappeared.
Yeah. No. And what about that other one that disappeared? That other one, Alexandra or something? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I called her out as well.
Yeah.
I was like, if anyone is not who they say they are, it's this Alex woman.
Yeah.
Because it's just doesn't like the tone of the voice and everything. It just sounded like it was a guy.
Exactly.
And then I think they got called out and then just disappeared.
Yeah.
Isn't that a shame?
Yeah, they found an Instagram account with that girl, and then nothing ever linked up. So she's gone. Yeah, it's funny stuff, but it just shows that there's there's something going on in PulseChain where it's worth coming over to try and scam, isn't it? So it's either the people here are too vulnerable, or there's too much good money going around. So interesting.
Yeah. Definitely keep that in mind at all times, people. Have you guys ever thought of a way to pump Hex or other core coins without pulsing? Pump Pulse up too. I think I talked about this last week, where if you've got a coin that's paired with Pulse, if your buy side liquidity is all Pulse, then when Pulse moves as a fraction of your total liquidity, it means that your token price will also go up, right? But if your liquidity is only $10,000 on whatever coin you've got, and then you go up 100x, it's not going to move Pulse because it's only representing 10%, so $10,000 worth of Pulse as a portion of like $50 million. It's not a large fraction of the total liquidity of Pulse. So a way to pump Hex or other core coins, I guess with core coins and Hex, at least you've got, we're talking 16 million or something on the Hex supply, like liquidity available. But yeah, again, you pump Hex, it's only going to pump Pulse by a lesser amount because of the fraction of the total liquidity available. PulseX would represent a larger portion of the Pulse liquidity. So if PulseX went up by a large amount, that would push Pulse more than if Hex went up by the same amount.
Yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong in this thinking, but it would, Pulse would take a lot longer to pull up with Hex, also because there's so many other coins and so much more liquidity tied to Hex, right? With everything else branching out, like every other coin on the chain is also tied to Hex, to Pulse.
To Pulse, yep. I think you said Hex, but I know what you're saying in terms of Pulse. Yeah, there's just more of it out there, and so like you say, there's more liquidity available, so it's heavier.
So Hex would go higher, nonetheless, because of that reason as well. Like if there was less other things tied to Pulse, it would probably come up faster with it. Is that right?
Yeah, I suppose so. I think there's probably a lower contributing factor, again, because you could have like 100 different coins that are all tied to Pulse, but if all of their liquidity is only like 10k here, 5k there, then it's just not going to make any difference when you're talking about $50 million worth of like as a fraction.
Cool.
Sorry, I've got stuff going on in the background. I'm trying not to get distracted by it. in terms of pumping Hex without pumping Pulse, I think if Hex pumps, Pulse will also pump like a little bit, like no doubt, like well, a lot. And I guess the thing is, we haven't really seen Pulse actually pump yet. Like I think it did what it was like 0.0027, I think was the high.
Yeah.
But that's like a pump for ants. Like when it's fully kicking off and it's going bananas, and then you're going to see all the other coins go up, like get slingshotted as well. Hey KD, what's going on? Hex is looking tasty, big time. We're making higher highs over here.
So
hit the
good.
buy button. Why not? That's right. Ross Green. Dagnum PI, big following on X, was asking why now the Hex pump. My basic answer is it's too cheap, low liquidity, and some confidence. Yeah, like all of those things are good reasons, Ross Green. Yeah. Low liquidity, if there was going to be buy pressure, then that helps. Oversold, or in the sense that it's too cheap, I think is a definite, because it just got sold down like 99.9%. So it was just too much for the size of the community and how hard we shill on X. Like no one comes close to hexagons on Twitter when it comes to shilling.
Yeah.
And so that's an interesting point as well. I saw someone, I think it was Ansem, was talking about a lot of people used to play, like younger generation, just playing games and stuff like that. Like, so they're playing, whatever games they're playing. They started to realize that they can create meme coins and create communities, and that whole pump.fun thing. And, the game becomes how viral can you make your token? And they're incentivized by becoming like millionaires or whatever. So yeah, it's a really interesting thing to think, if that's the game, like virality equates to, dollars on chain, to the price, then like hexagons we're pretty good at that. Like you got to admit, when it comes to shilling, our community is like second to none. So yeah, those guys need to step up.
Yeah, that Dagnum guy, the way he was asking about it was really good. He wasn't saying like, oh, what's all this noise and all yous are dreaming or whatever. He was asking for genuine reasons, so he could then talk about it, because he wants to be able to talk about it. And yeah, I just loved his mindset in the way he was bringing it up and asking questions. People were like, oh, because people are pumping, people still believe and whatever. And he was like, come on, give us like, I really want like a concrete, or some detailed reason so I can pass it on, so I can tell my followers why it's happening. And if something big is happening, then, he'll do more of it. So I thought it was really good, rather than just coming in or like, banter and all that, doing shit talk, I guess, on it. Yeah, he was doing it in a really positive way.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's good.
That's awesome. So KD, I think we True Blue mentioned the base take us up like next week or something. Is that right?
10 days, yeah.
10 days.
Same with Team as well. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Yaveen said as well. Team, I think, is next month.
Yeah.
Doc Lover. So tempting to say Doc Lover, but definitely Doc Lover 100.
Yeah.
I'm a Doc Lover too, don't worry. Are the buyers of Hex over the past few weeks been in smaller amounts or larger buyers? So some people have been speculating that it was RH's wallets and all this sort of stuff. And I've seen some false information going around saying, it's the validators, the 4,096 validators that they originally started and then that they were buying or something like that. And it was like, that could all, I think Jexa pointed out that could just be one wallet, like with 4,000 validators. So all these different wallets, and from what I've heard, a lot of people looking into it on chain, that there's no trace back to like known RH wallets or known sacrifice wallets.
Yeah.
So this is just an organic pump. Like this is just people, whales who were sidelined, who just decided that they thought it was a good time to ape in. And we talked about this last week, where there's the Pareto principle, where you have 20% of the outcome. 100% of the outcome can be made by 20% of the population. So like 80% of the population doesn't affect the outcome much, but 20% of the population does affect that outcome. And so I think it was Hans P. He did some analysis, and it looked like basically on PulseChain, 80% of wallets of PulseChain sacrifices had larger amounts than when they first sacrificed, and 20% of them had less than what they had sacrificed for. So the prices obviously got wrecked, so that it was like the 20% with the whales that were sort of going down. So and I think Hans P might actually be doing some sort of airdrop to the sacrifice set. That's why he was looking into that.
Yeah, okay.
So there's actually, so if you sacrifice for PulseChain, I suspect you'll get an airdrop from whatever Hans P is doing. I think he does that PulseCoin thing.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So are the buyers of Hex of the last few weeks been in smaller amounts or large buyers? I think now we're starting to see that 20% rotate back in. Like we're starting to see the whales who were sidelined say, okay, let's move the price.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see what happens going into the trial. So October 31st, which is only like 4 weeks away or something.
Yeah. The time is now, I think, and they're showing that the whales are sort of making their splash. So it's very good.
I would prefer smaller buyers initially, as I believe the price may be more sustainable. Yeah, out of our control though, so it's probably not much point worrying too much about it.
I guess the only thing is, how many small buyers are there that can actually, that all together will be able to move the price that much. We'll really need to get that big community effect. Like Somi talks about getting, crazy amounts of people in. It's going to be hard at, $1,000, $10,000, $50,000 bags or whatever you want to call just the general people that jump in to move the price as much as everyone's keen on. We need some whales. Definitely.
100%, man.
Yeah,
for sure. Ross Green, absolutely. People talk about making millions with some of these meme coins, but good luck catching out with huge slippage. Yes, Ross Green knows what's up. It's all about liquidity. Yeah, very important.
Hey, I just wanted to bring this up quickly. There's this is that Dagnum guy. Weird name, by the way. And some of the cryptos he's talking about have some weird names.
But you know where it comes from, bro. It's Magnum PI. You're probably too young. You remember Magnum PI?
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yep.
It's the guy with the giant mustache.
A bit slow on the uptake.
It's not. It's Magnum PI. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about crypto here. I don't know about all you guys, but that's what we're here for.
I'm thinking about that giant mustache.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, so this is like, just showing where he's sort of at. He's really liking the way that, the Hex community voices themselves in, obviously he hasn't seen some of the stuff that's been going on. But yeah, he says in there, about many of the communities could learn a valuable lesson from the Hex community. Engagement is key and the energy is incredible. And it's made him curious enough to dig into PulseChain. One thing Hex does right is replying to new voices. And when someone outside of the usual circle posts about them, they engage. So, he's really looking in to our community. And I think if anyone wants to jump on there and sort of embrace that and say g'day or, repost and make a comment, hopefully he's not, doing it just to siphon out some followers or something. And it's, for the right reasons. But then, he goes on to saying about coins I haven't heard of. Some of them, but focusing on DAG ADS. I don't know what that is. But he's, while he might not be as active in these communities, there's an opportunity for them to expand their reach. So I think that just shows how powerful we are. Someone like that's actually noticing, what we do here and how loud our voices are. And most of it's positive. So even though we're deep in the circles, we probably see a lot of the crap that goes on. but maybe outside it doesn't look that bad, you know, judging by the way that he's talking. We're got good, you know, strong voices, and yeah, we just like to bring people in. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. That's a really good post.
Yeah. But he's written a few posts about Hex, so whether he's just wanting our engagement or not, yeah, I'll put his profile in the chat if anyone wants to go on and just say g'day.
And check out Magnum PI as well if you want.
Yeah,
like
and that too,
you know, in your spare time.
Yeah.
Put it on True Blue's list of shows you used to watch on Dozer.
Yeah, exactly.
Demolition Man. What was the other one? Face Off.
Yeah,
you got Magnum PI.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got a red Ferrari in it. It's pretty sweet.
I have, yeah, I reckon I have seen that. I remember, yeah, definitely. I remember cars, and I think I remember.
You got to do your 80s homework.
Do you know
action?
Do you know? So I went. What I thought was, you know, that the old happy wife like comment. I went vacuum shopping today, which is why I just made it on time.
Oh.
So how good is that? Should have spent it on Hex. That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah, you like what do they call it? That cyclonic tech, and you're like,
yeah. I was trying to bridge it out last night, and it didn't work. And then the missus caught it. No, you know. So anyway, we did that. But what would probably make her happier is me just getting into movies, because my wife is a massive movie buff. So
I'm telling you.
There we go, Dozer. We're going to make it happen.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. I've already got you. You know, you've got a few hours of homework. You got to do your catch up first.
Yeah. Can you watch that on 2 times speed by any chance? That's what I'm used to.
Yeah, true. Watching streams. I recommend that people probably should listen to us on like at least 1.5 as well. Make it sound smarter.
Definitely. Yeah.
So Jex has got here. Don't rust, Larry.
Trust Larry.
Don't trust, maybe.
Yeah.
Last motherfucker holding any BTC. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's snakes, absolute snakes. I was just more saying like the way that they're manufacturing consent, the way that they're sort of framing it into as an investment vehicle as opposed to gold or treasury bonds. And it's just interesting how the tide has turned a little bit. But yeah, these guys, who knows what they're up to? I reckon they're up to pretty much everything. But that's just me.
You got their hands in all of it, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's despicable, some of the stuff. McNuggets, g'day.
Oi.
G'day, legends. Thank you very much, sir. And g'day to Hextop Publisher as well. Yeah. I know that she listens, but she probably doesn't want to comment for whatever reason. But feel free to come on, Hextop, if you want. I've also offered McNuggets to come on, but he
that'd be so good. Yeah, man, come on.
But he's always welcome. You're always welcome, McNuggets.
Yep. Same with everyone that, you know, especially the regulars, but anyone that wants to jump on, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Because we've had Hexy McHexican come on. Yep. Who else have we had on? We should get T-Bird on. I don't know why he doesn't come on.
Yeah, was it him? Somebody was not well recently. I just saw on Twitter. Was it T-Bird or was it? No, it was.
No. That was someone else.
Yeah,
I offered a few people. I offered. I said to Axis to come on because he was saying, "Who should I stream with?"
Yeah. Okay.
I was saying, someone else. But anyway, sometimes I like.
Also hard for a lot of the people over in the US.
Time zones.
At wee hours. Yeah, VTX loves coming on, but it sort of always clashes with things that he's got on or whatever. And it's like 5 a.m. or something for most of them.
Yeah.
Hey, I got up at 5 a.m.
We could always get Red Squirrel on.
Yeah, or Fast Abdul or whoever.
Nah, maybe not Fast Abdul, but we could definitely get Red Squirrel on.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. I'm sick of those dress ups from Fast Abdul. Come on, Red Squirrel. Show him up.
That's it. So yeah, I can't believe I thought he was from the UK. I don't know where I got that from.
Well,
so that's funny.
Yeah.
Blobfish King, what's up? How you going?
You never know. We could be getting reverse played now. Like they could be doing this to make us think that they're one now, but they're not.
Well, that's what I said at the start. I said maybe he's just like appropriating his Red Squirrel's thing, like just pretending to be him. Because
it was spelled wrong.
That would make more sense, man. Because look, think about it. Red Squirrel did a whole bunch of liquid loans things, although now you got me wondering. Anyway, doesn't matter really. I kind of hope that they're two different people just because like that's an extra person that I've been interacting with this whole time. Otherwise, it's just I'm just.
As long as you weren't saying like opposite.
There's only like actually 3 people in the chat, and everyone else has just got alts.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, I've got heaps of friends, and it turns out it's just like 3 guys.
Yeah, that's why it says there's 41 people watching, but there's actually only 1. It's just all these accounts. Yeah.
True. Although we've only got 7 Twitter bots on X, so that's not a lot. I've got to up our engagement farming. Blobfish is enjoying the bottoms on a Friday, as he likes to do, and happy October. I think Hex was one of the only coins that's actually enjoying October. Like we've got the floor is lava tweets going on, where everything else is red and Hex is green. G'day to Hans. What's going on? The 80-20 rule. Yes, that's that Pareto principle thing. I think that's legit. Yeah, okay, I'm still confused as to what's going on there. But I saw a cool video. So I don't know. It's about Satoshi Nakamoto and Bitcoin. So it's a little trailer for it. So I can pull it up if you guys are interested. But I like documentaries and stuff, so I thought maybe you guys might be keen. But check this out. It's pretty good, like production quality. I think it's a HBO. Maybe give me thumbs up if you can hear it.
Satoshi Nakamoto, the inventor of Bitcoin, could be one of the richest people on Earth. But many years ago, Satoshi had disappeared, and with Bitcoin being woven into the fabric of the financial system, solidifying its role as digital gold, perhaps the question of Satoshi's identity was more pressing than ever. We should start with just an interview with you in Malta, if that sounds good to you.
Okay.
Who would have been working around the clock to introduce something like Bitcoin?
A lot of technical people will say, I could have done that. It's actually much harder than it looks.
Anyone competent enough to go do Bitcoin probably would competent enough to not leave any traces.
Satoshi's got nothing to pick up by his stash.
Yeah, just 1 million Bitcoin. The currency derived from electricity might pose a real threat to the dollar.
3, 2, 1.
If it gained in popularity.
I'm the crazy prince that was talking about Bitcoin.
What we're trying to do is get parallel systems in place. Dollars, Bitcoin, pesos, Bitcoin, yen, Bitcoin.
If it looks like something could replace the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, 3-letter agencies will do whatever they can to disrupt projects like Bitcoin.
I would rather buy shit that's worth something than buying crypto.
Bitcoin is about undermining the Federal Reserve, disintermediating the nation state.
It's not like Satoshi had some master plan.
Yeah, it's like you're in some sort of cult. You guys are having fun now.
Right?
Satoshi left a lot of digital history.
When he left, he distributed control amongst different people in the community.
Were you the first person that Satoshi reached out to?
I believe so, yeah. Best evidence of him being Satoshi.
Of not being Satoshi.
Being Satoshi.
What indication did you have that he was collaborating with the government?
If you dig deep enough, the inconsistencies will emerge.
He's responding.
I've been told Satoshi was a group of people.
I have to be careful of talking about that topic.
He checks a lot of boxes.
I will admit, you're pretty creative. You come with some crazy theories.
Here's what I think happened.
It's Bitcoin. Don't trust, verify.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty good production, isn't it?
Definitely. Would you not say we're almost there if HBO are doing a documentary on Bitcoin? Like if they're backing it and they're willing to put their name to it in a way, would that not be saying, everything we've been thinking? Or do they do other stuff that turns out to be
started? Yeah, I think it's just getting started. I think it's just starting to get into the popular zeitgeist at the moment, where 2025 really is going to be when we see the mania and the hysteria of the crypto parabolic phase of the bull run and alt season. But you've got to realize, like, historically, in terms of the cycles, you know, the riskier the asset, the later it pumps. So you sort of see the transition, the flow from in the terms of like the money supply trickling through the lowest risk assets to the highest risk assets until the bubble collapses, and then they do it all again. So that's just the way it works, is what it seems. And so at the end of this 4-year cycle, you know, we're probably like 2025, we're talking October, November next year is when we're going to see this sort of mania phase. So the fact that we're starting to see HBO documentaries drop, I reckon we're going to see a lot more of it, bro. And I think that's when the highest of stakes is going to start to play to a lot of people. They'll start to see the Hex chart. They hear about it on the radio, the cabbies or whatever, and they start to see it. And then that's when you get the influx of retail that do that final parabolic push. So that's why you got to pack your bags early and then just wait it out. But it's encouraging to see, you know, not only BlackRock CEOs talking about it on the news or whatever in America, but the streaming platforms starting to take up crypto docos and things like that. So yeah, I think it's encouraging, but I don't think it's there yet. Like, I think we've got a long way to go. If you look at like total 2, we haven't even passed all-time highs. So we're still, and the ETH BTC ratio, in terms of my indicator of like whether alt season has started, ETH BTC ratio is still wrecked and it's still going down. So it's still a Bitcoin dominance sort of phase of the market. And we're starting to see some bubbles popping here and there, like Hex at the moment, which is awesome.
Definitely.
But yeah, I wouldn't say that this is like anywhere near the highs as like how high it can go.
Oh hell no, no way.
Yeah, if you've been around, like you've seen some wacky stuff, you know.
Man, it's like I've been saying, you know, and I'm always bullish, but yeah, just, you know, I can surely everyone out there can feel it in their waters by now. Like not just me, you know. It's like I'm not itching for it, but it's like the patience. But we know it's going to happen, and yeah, it's just going to be absolutely unreal.
Look, that's what we're playing for. You know, that's the game. So that's the risk we take, and then that's the reward that we're hoping for. But yeah, interesting that HBO documentary, because they, like, if you had to ask me who I thought Satoshi was, I would have said Adam Back, because like if you look at some of the, like, there's an interview with RH and John McAfee, and McAfee's talking about how the original Hashcash white paper has got double spaces in between the sentences. Because it was done on an old school typewriter, and that's just, and so Adam Back had like always done double spaces in between his sentences, like in Hashcash, and that's how the Bitcoin white paper also does it, and that there was the British spelling of certain words in the Bitcoin white paper, and Adam Back was one of the only people on that cypherpunk mailing list who's British. So there was like a lot of things pointing to Adam Back, and in the Bitcoin white paper itself, it actually mentions Adam Back and Hashcash like as one of the original inspirations for proof of work. And it's like, so I was like, it's Adam Back, and then so that fact that he's in that so much and that they're talking to him, I was just like, oh, maybe it's not him, like, because
exactly.
I haven't watched the documentary, but I would have thought there's no way if he was trying to be anonymous that he would be out there doing those docos.
Sometimes it's the people that are right in front of you. Hey, so
he did look a bit catchy though. Yeah, like when he was talking, he just like, I can't talk about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. I think, you know, I'd be more bullish if Klaz was right, saying RH is Satoshi. I mean, that would be that would just be would we be at 10 D chess at that stage or something? something like that.
Yeah, look, he was definitely mining full 50 BTC blocks and that, so he's around back in the day. But no, not Satoshi. I mean, he's called Satoshi all sorts of names and stuff, saying that he didn't stick around, and it would have been good if Satoshi was around to support him with they were trying to fight the block size and the some of the other changes that they were trying to make. Or maybe it was the other way around. I think maybe RH was in favor of the block size stuff. I'll have to check it. But no, I don't think RH is Satoshi. I mean, he literally has said multiple times that it's an evolution, and Bitcoin has that first mover advantage.
Yeah.
But they were really resistant to people building on it. And so whereas Ethereum, it's got all the smart contracts and then so that's why he's forked Ethereum, because it's just a better system and you can a better network.
Oh, for sure.
That you can actually work on it, and it's superior on paper. So it depends on what you're looking for. You know, some people are looking for the store of value narrative or meme, whereas other people are actually wanting to build like cool stuff on a network with like, you know, low gas, fast speeds, all sorts of whatever DeFi protocols. And certainly I think IH tapped into the sort of the magic that is automatic market makers.
Definitely.
So when it comes to, you know, innovation, you know, the way that liquidity pools work, like not in centralized exchanges, but in terms of DeFi, like true DeFi, the way that pools work and where you get this, the AMMs, and the way that you know the buy side pressure, you see a change in price as the square of the inputted buy side. The way that the maths works for the constant product AMMs, that's a real innovation. And I think he realized that, wow, you can really play with this. And if you get the liquidity quite, you know, in the sweet spot, you can make things absolutely pump. You know, and then you can adjust it and you can play with it. So,
and we're yet to see that magic unfold in most ways, you know. So watch this space.
That's one thing that RH, whether you realize it or not, but that's one of his major strengths.
Definitely. So did you see 43 OGs in the chat? Did you say good day to him yet?
I didn't see it, but I'm just going through. What's up, 43?
Yeah, man. Good to see you in here. And we're missing you, but
long time listener.
Yeah, long time big time streamer at one stage. Nah, can't wait to have you back when you can, man. So hope everything's going well for you, and good to see you here. Yeah.
That's right. Brizology's in the chat. I have something new, but it's too much to post in the chat box. Okay.
Oh, he's building meme coins. He's cooking too.
Oh, here we go. Nah. Yeah, okay. But it's bullish on PLSX. That's cool. Brizology is Satoshi. I highly doubt it. Got his coffee for him. Oh, okay.
Hilarious.
He was the errand boy. So, well, at least he was around back then.
Oh, that's
what else we got here? Yaveen, I can see IH collaborating with Vitalik. Ooh, I'm not sure. I don't know if Vitalik's a huge fan of RH, but maybe they certainly have. There's an overlap in ideals in the sense of a desire for decentralization and censorship resistance. But I suspect Vitalik has sort of gone in the way of the soy, and he's sort of been eating too many WEF crickets or something, and just I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of the way that Vitalik's been going lately.
Yeah, imagine them both sitting on the bonnet of the Mercedes, the big PP Mercedes.
Yeah. I think Vitalik needs to get his test levels checked. and start doing some arm wrestling or something. Like just beef up a bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of arm wrestling videos lately. So,
I don't know.
Shout out to Devin Lerat. Devin Lerat.
They go full on, hey.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love watching it.
Crazy stuff.
Put it in the chat if you like arm wrestling videos.
It's funny as. Hey, where is it? Somebody. Oh, that's right. Doc Lover was suggesting. No, he's only joking. He or she that we're gatekeeping. But that there was here's one. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, Kraken ending their relationship with Monero at the end of the month.
I didn't even see this, so apologies.
There are more privacy doors being closed than open for us. Will crypto privacy soon be a thing of the past? Well, I mean, because the big institutions are coming in, that's one thing they would want, isn't it? Privacy to be gone. So it's one thing that, I think is a bit of an enemy to, when crypto becomes mainstream for the institutions and governments and things like that, people in power. But for the smaller people, you want privacy, don't you? Like we've talked about many times, paying people or people seeing what you have in your wallets. But yeah, what do you think about that? I didn't know this was happening, to be honest.
Look, privacy is a UN chartered, human right. I don't think it should be a dirty word. I think it should just be normalized. So yeah, I just think it's crazy that the way that governments and things like that are trying to sort of say this whole, if you've got nothing to hide, then you deserve no privacy because of the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah.
So the Kraken ending their relationship with Monero. I mean, Monero has been one of the true sort of private coins with the way that, so it's got that, it's a ring. It's a ring. I forget the words for it, but yeah, the way that it works. It's not quite like Tornado Cash, but it does obfuscate. And so privacy doors being closed. Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be the way. Like, get used to that. Like, that's just the way it is. Will privacy crypto be a thing of the past? No, because people are always going to, find ways. So the government's always one step behind when it comes to. It's the same with like viruses and things like that. People come up with antiviruses and then they come up with new viruses. Like this, the people who were, balls deep in tech are always one step ahead of the, the laggards. So yeah, it's just a shame that that's the way we're going, but who knows? RH might be introducing some sort of privacy pools into PulseX. That's not,
that'd be good.
Unlikely. I think that might actually happen. Because there's been some speculation that could happen. But yeah, who's to say? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I think privacy will keep trying to be stomped on, like spot fires, keep trying to put it out, but there'll just be new ways that, keep popping up. Yeah, there's one more here as well from Doc Glover about Hex being gatekept. Yeah, well, we have to wait until someone or some company gets successfully sued over it for a group of coins rather than just one.
Not quite sure I understand what that's saying. Will we have to wait until someone or some company gets successfully sued over it? Oh, so like CoinMarketCap or something getting sued. For a group of coins rather than just one. Look, I don't think it really matters, to be honest. People, they can gatekeep. Eventually, the only thing that matters is price. And once the price starts going up, then those doors will open.
Also, once these trials get through, if there's a positive result, there's not really any reason for it to be gatekept. So at the moment, people have their reasons, even if there's, content creators or influencers that are told not to shill it, they could be told, because, it's currently being thought of as, it's going through these cases, it could be a scam. They could be, all sorts of issues with the sacrifice funds. But once that's all cleared up, there's no more reasons really, besides just, each person's own opinion. So I think we're not far away. I'm not worried about the gatekeeping at the moment. In many ways, because I still want to build the bags up while we still can. So, open the gates in a couple of months. Sounds good.
Yeah. Look, I think there's an element of Schadenfreude where people take pleasure in other people's misery. Yeah. And it's an unfortunate human condition, a human trait. Not in everyone, but particularly in, jerks like the Binance crew and CoinMarketCap guys. So they just see Hex as being really successful. And when it was successful, that was all, tall poppy syndrome, wanting to cut it down to make themselves feel better. And then now that Hex is down and out, or down, not out, then it's like they wanted to kick us while we were down and say that we were dead. But it's like, I didn't hear no bell. Like it's back. We're back. We never left.
100%.
So that's the thing. The tenacity of the Hex community is unparalleled. So I think that we will show them again, what's up when the bull run kicks off. And so Yaveen's got something for you to add to your 80s action film.
Oh, look
list,
out,
bro.
Judging by the way Yaveen talks about Hex a lot more than anything else, I think we've got a similar taste in lots of things. So I'll listen to this one.
Add it to the list. Over the Top was a great movie. We're talking arm wrestling movies here with Sylvester Stallone. Puts the cap on backwards. And he's
nice.
Yeah,
I literally do have a list going. All right, people. So just so you know that it's we've got a list here on the.
You got to do your homework. You got to do your homework, bro. This is look. It's
report back.
It may have aged terribly. It's one of those 80s movies that like you kind of go back and like, oh, Commando's the best movie ever, and then you look back on it and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Is this? Why are there so many people getting blown up and just anyway? Ring signatures. Yes, Jex is listening. Thanks, Jexer. He knows what's up. So that's like when you do a transaction with Monero, I think it's like you have multiple transactions all go through in this ring, and then it obfuscates like which wallet ends up with which coins. So it kind of mixes them in a sense. So if there's enough volume so you have like 6 or like a dozen transactions in a single ring, then every time you do a transaction and there's 12 other people doing transactions for the same amount, like then you get, so say you're talking about like whatever Hex or something, if everyone's just doing like a Hex swap of like 100,000 Hex, and then once that goes, everyone gets 100,000, but then you're basically getting 100,000 from someone else, and someone else is getting it from someone else, and that's how that ring signature works. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know exactly. But I'm pretty sure how Monero is. What I was saying.
Yeah. So with most privacy protocols, am I right in saying that they need a fair bit of volume and sort of to make it private? Otherwise, if there's not enough, it's sort of a bit too obvious. You can see
exactly.
What's going on.
Because then there's only like the subset of users is like, oh, there's only actually like 5 people in this set, or like 100 people. Is like that really narrows it down. But if the volume is high enough, then it's like, oh, now we're talking about a set of like 1 million people. Then it's much harder to track it. But I could be wrong. I think there might be some other subtleties, but that's essentially how ring signatures work. That's how my understanding is. Atomic cross swaps between BTC and Monero have been a thing for a while. True, decentralized, that can't be turned off. Yeah, that's true. So atomic cross swaps, I think when they say atomic, they just mean like it's like an exact amount that gets swapped from one chain to another. So it's like, I think it's almost like a when you put it into escrow, like you almost have like, so you're doing like an atomic cross swap from whatever chain to whatever chain, chain X to chain Y, it puts it into like an escrow, and then it swaps it across. So there's some obfuscation there as well. That's my understanding of atomic cross swaps. But again, like it's been a while since I've looked at this stuff. Pulse Jiu-Jitsu, Victory is mine. So he's got multiple alts. Half of our chat is literally just Fast Abdul. I've just realized.
Yeah.
I didn't hear no bell. Yes, Sprizology knows what's up. That's it. That's the Stan Marsh or whatever, when he's like, "You're the best around." Anyway, he knows what's up. It's a South Park joke.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
that's a South Park joke. But he's referencing Rocky, which you've no doubt seen.
Yes.
Don't tell me you haven't seen Rocky.
I have seen Rocky. Come on.
All right, true. You almost got that on the list.
It's not on the list.
Okay, cool. I drive trucks, break arms. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what he does. Like over the top. He literally just drives trucks and breaks arms. Like, what's not to like? And like the challenge in the arm wrestling thing is to win a truck. It's it's like it sounds not a great.
I'm into
way to live.
trucks. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Are we talking American like a truck or like a truck?
No, like Mack trucks, like big trucks. You like trucks that you would like, yeah.
Right.
Proper trucks. I love driving trucks, man. Like in the odd occasion that I drive them, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, pretty good fun.
That's
it.
All out of arms. Yes. Nice. Monero. The Monero definitely has volume. Yes, for sure. The big rig. That's what we should call you, Trevor. The big rig. Here he is.
That's it. In multiple ways, big mate. Come on.
That's the great nickname.
That's not
the
bad.
type of nickname that you want to give to yourself. There you go. That would be a good name to call me if you wanted to. It's like entirely up to you, but if you wanted to call me the big rig,
you tower over me. You're definitely a big rig.
That's funny though. But I like it when people do that. Like they go, "Oh, here comes Big Dog." And you're like, Big Dog. Okay,
yeah, that's it.
The big rig.
Yeah, that's very good. I like it. I'm going to use that, Yvonne. Speaking of big dogs and big rigs, DJ Cryptomatic's here as well.
Hey, what's up, DJ?
We were just talking about you earlier, so we'd love to have you on again if you feel like waking up at stupid hours and you're not busy. I was watching What the Hex this morning, but I had one of my kids with me, and old Papa Boner starts throwing profanities everywhere, and I'm like, gonna have to change and catch that up on replay another day. So sorry about that. I had to bail halfway through, but it's all cool.
Yep. We love DJ. He's a all around nice guy. So and one of the OGs has always been around and chilling and doing the Twitch spaces and stuff like that.
Yep.
So he's a legend.
Yep. So good. And always positive vibes. He's not
super fun vibes always.
Yeah.
I noticed this Lunar Crush thing the other day. So one of the bright spots in a tough week has been Hex, 32% jump in price as social activity continues to accelerate. In the current hour, 0.65% social activity across all of crypto was related to Hex crypto. So nearly 1% of all social activity was from Hex. So that's a Lunar Crush stat.
That's awesome.
That's pretty crazy to think that that Hex can be so dominant. So 32% price, but 23% social dominance.
Wow, that's huge.
46% engagement.
See, yep, that's all we need. Green candles, and it does it.
That's what happens. Yeah.
I just
Jerry just joined. What did I miss? Just talking about arm wrestling. Yeah, Devin Larat. I think it's Devin Larat. He's my favorite. He's just check it out.
Yep.
All right. So do you want to talk any shitcoins before we wrap it up, or let's just do a real quick one?
Yeah, that sounds good. I was just going to quickly bring up, if you don't mind, just the bubbles quickly, just because I brought them up on the weekly. A week later, last week we were looking real good, and this week still absolutely smashing it. Exactly. So good. And FTT, what even is that? So
that's FTX, man. That's
I know. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy that they're back and the creditors are getting their money back?
Are they paying that out in FTT tokens, or are they paying it out in?
No, I think in the crypto that they had.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand really how they can be doing that, because I thought that Sam Bankman-Fried? No.
Yeah, SBF.
SBF, yeah. I'm just like losing it for a second there. But SBF,
too many waters.
Yeah, that's right. I think I had not enough scotch. I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
So SBF has, and Caroline, they've been having too many, Adderall fueled beanbag parties and orgies or whatever, and they were just like leveraging on everyone's assets, just getting wrecked, and then so that's what I thought would happen. So I don't understand where they're getting this money back to pay everyone. Maybe they're getting paid back in cash because their assets have gone up.
Yeah.
But still, a lot of these assets would be down. So if they're getting paid out in the assets they held, it still doesn't make sense as to where they're getting the money from.
Not sure. Yeah, because if they were liquidated and it's lost, then
how are they paying people back? But they literally are. Like there was a whole list of FTX creditors. I saw people getting paid, like starting this week, they were starting to get paid back. So
someone in the chat knows. So tell us.
There must be a reason. It's just like I don't know what the reason is, but there's probably a good reason. Maybe we need Cal to tell us.
Yeah, where is Cal?
Background? Like he's our Jamie. He's like, on Joe Rogan, and he goes, Jamie, can you just pull us up? Like, what's going on with this? Cal. So
always some good info from Cal. The alpha.
All right, let me do a quick break, and then I'll show you these shit coins, and we'll wrap it up. All right. Sorry, that was just
so good.
Literally me just trying to pull up charts in the background. So maybe I should just do a real quick top down because it was so successful last week with the BTC call that I made. So on the weekly, there was this resistance from 2011 or whatever. No, 2021. I really do need some scotch. And then we got rejected off it. And so that's why we're seeing like a short-term downtrend. But I think that's probably just going to be range bound and probably just sit around that 60K and we'll see if it closes below 60 or below 58, then bad news. But otherwise it's just going to grind sideways until it hits, busts through this 70K region in early November. That's my thesis.
I don't want to be bearish, but could you almost draw the start of a downtrend on that last, since
it's
March?
Just sideways, bro, because what happens is like you get these weekly closes above the 20 MA and then below it and then above it and then below it. It's just like it's so volatile. But certainly on the daily, like short-term bearish, because I would have been bullish above the 20 MA on the 16th of September. And that's right, where it basically busted through this resistance and then retested it. So that was the entry point. This is the 17th of September. And then the 10 MA was above the 20. And then all up until basically the 1st of October, that's when it closed below. And then we're starting to go into effectively a short-term downtrend because on the dailies, we're below the 20 MA. So, but look, it's wicking down. It's hitting support at 60K. So we'll see what happens.
Yep. Cool.
ETH BTC is still down and to the right. So, on the weeklies, if you zoom out, it's just in this channel and it might go up. It should go up because it's going to go into the middle of the channel or maybe the top of the channel, but we really need to see it go up like a lot for alt season to kick off. That's my, investment thesis is like alt season starts when this ETH BTC ratio starts to kick off. And then if you look at, the S&P 500 still going up. So, macro wise, it's business as usual on the weekly, still in an uptrend. So I think BTC dominance will probably continue and that it hasn't crossed below the 20 MA there. So it's still a Bitcoin market. It seems like it's like basically a Bitcoin market right up until like the last 6 months of the cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, but then you get pockets that pump. So, so then that brings us to, Pulse. The Pulse rejection at this line of resistance here is basically 40, let's just say 5555 for the culture.
Yeah,
getting rejected. I'd like to see it close above that and then even retest it. But yeah, it's not in a downtrend. It's still in an uptrend, like above on the daily, the 20 SMA. So we're still, and the moving averages are stacked like 10, 20, 50. So it's still uptrend. So I think maybe we will bust through this. So it's just a short pullback.
I remember I did a buy at 5555 just for the culture, like you said.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
And it's like at that point, I was like, this is pretty damn good price. You know, this was a while ago. And so, yeah, anyone that feels like they've missed the bottom and they've actually missed the boat, it's like you're nowhere near missing the boat. You know, these prices are still nuts. And if we didn't drop down any further and we'd just been going sideways from there, you know, you wouldn't know any different. So still such a good chance. I'm not going to say opportunity. We use that word too often.
Yeah. That's cool. And so in terms of ratios, you know, just briefly again, Hex as a ratio of PLS is still rocketing 285 now. I shouldn't say new all-time highs, but certain. Oh no, it is. It is new all-time highs.
Crazy
in terms of the ratio. So wow, that just really busted through that. So there was okay. We don't need to. It's in the past now. We're the moon mission is on.
Yeah, and just zoom into that bit. Yeah.
People are going to start to FOMO their Pulse into Hex at some point, and this ratio, they can still both go up, but Hex can just go up faster. So Hex on PulseChain, and I'm interested to see how high this ratio can go. Like,
definitely.
Anyway, let's just see. So PulseX, let's price it in Pulse and have a quick squiz. PulseX is also outperforming Pulse.
Wow.
So slightly lower liquidity and also at all-time highs in terms of ratio. So wow, it's 0.6 pulse per PulseX. Wow, that's really interesting, because I remember when these ratios came out at the very start, and it was like, you know, everyone was saying it's going to be 3 PulseX per pulse.
Yeah.
And then it was like, it went to 2 and now it's 1.6. Will we get parity?
Oh man,
my God. It's
so
not the parity we want, it's the parity we deserve.
100% it is. Well, with the burn as well, like the way the buy and burn's been going is pretty nuts. So over time, what's to say that isn't going to happen or go the other way, you know, like invert type thing.
Look, PulseX, the buy and burn is no joke. 1 trillion PulseX burnt. I think there's only like, if you take out the 08, there's only like 20 trillion in supply. So like that's a decent percentage of the overall supply that's been burnt and will continue to be burnt. So yeah, from a scarcity point of view, and obviously when the volume kicks up and that burn rate will accelerate, PulseX is definitely still a sleeping giant. So
you're going to have fights in your household about that, mate. Look at this. PulseX is my least favorite. Oh no.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You know, that's because, you know, the people who sacked for PulseX have probably got the worst deal so far. Like if you think about it compared to Pulse. So it's not natural that people like hate on PulseX the most, but it doesn't mean right now that the opportunity is not, you know, higher for Pulse. It's certainly in an uptrend. Let's look at Ink versus Pulse, because I just want to have a quick look. Oh man, it's still going sideways.
Wow.
Look at that channel. Okay. There you go. Nothing needs to be said there.
So that would mean Ink versus PulseX. Ink's doing worse against PulseX then. Because
yeah, I'd say so because PulseX was doing better than Pulse, and then so if you price Ink in terms of PulseX, yes, Ink is going down versus PulseX. That's what it means. I mean, it makes sense because Ink is. I mean, don't come at me, Briz, because I know he's a huge fan of Ink, but it's inflationary, right? Like it's being emitted every second a new ink is born. And there's people got massive amounts in these farms. And so there's a lot of sell pressure to offset the impermanent loss. Whereas PulseX is the opposite. It's buy and burn. There's less of it. It's deflationary. And it has buy pressure. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. People who are like, I think Ink's way better. And you're like, okay, it doesn't make any sense, but whatever. People can buy whatever they want, and the price can do things that don't make sense as well. That's the other thing. If people just decide that they just want a particular thing for whatever reason, then that price will skyrocket. So the wrapped ETH was the last one I wanted to look at in terms of Pulse, and I'll just invert that pair. So this one we had talked about being in a channel for some time, and it was just sort of slowly going up, and then it busted out of that channel. I mean, just look at it.
Brilliant.
So Pulse has been, and it kind of retested and then just left it behind. So interesting that like this was really good to be in the wrapped ETH, wrapped Pulse farms in this period because of the low impermanent loss, but not anymore. And maybe I should have mentioned that like a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, you probably don't want to be in the Pulse ETH farms anymore, because if Pulse is going to continue to outperform ETH, there will be impermanent loss. So keep that in mind, and just look at this beautiful textbook. So on the daily, crossing above the 20, and then at that point they all converge, 10, 20, 50 SMAs all stacked, and the price above all of them. Like that's what you want to see. Like, I mean, that's on the daily. You want to see that happening on the weekly, and that's when you start to talk smack to your boss. But yeah, look, it's on the weekly, the 10 SMAs just crossed over the 20. Man, that is so bullish for Pulse.
Pretty keen.
It also looks like a nice like bottom. You know what I mean? Like it's like a real rounded bottom. You know how we like round bottoms.
Definitely. Blobfish King loves them too.
He does. And he can handle the pressure as well, we've discovered.
That's right. That's brilliant. So good.
All right. Let me just quickly go through some shit coins to stay true to form.
Hey, it sounds like Breeze really wants to let in on this info about PulseX, this bullish info he has. And he was saying the ink chart that you were showing confirmed it. So you want to come on next week, Briz, or very quickly come on and tell us? But otherwise, next week we'd love to have you on, and you can shill whatever you're talking about. Be good.
Yeah, that's interesting. Costa, g'day, Costa. He's a long-time listener. Appreciate that. Thanks for taking the baton from the late show. Yeah, that's basically, the late show was
right. You really have.
DeFi Down Under.
Yeah,
and we've tried to come on and carry the torch, so to speak, or the baton. But yeah, okay, Bruce can't come on tonight. That's cool. Maybe some other time. I'm going to grill him next time I see him, though, because we'll talk about it next time.
Don't fade.
Something.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's just there was something that he said that was on X or whatever, and I was like disagreed with it, but that's okay. We're allowed to disagree on things, and clearly we disagree with this ink thing, because I think he's a big ink fan, and so but that's okay. We can have. Oh, you think he's going to become a PulseX maxi? Maybe. Well, let me just trigger Briz really quickly by talking about the HOA chart.
Oh, sorry, do it.
So I talked about this a while ago, that it would close below the 20 MA right up here, and then it proceeds to go down like whatever it was, 80%.
Yeah.
And then it closed above the 20 here. So this point was where it retested, and I was like, this could be a good buying opportunity. And it's also got them stacked as well. So HOA is one of the few meme coins on PulseChain that I think has actually got some legs.
Yep.
Let's check out Pika, because that's Somi's sort of baby. And throw some meme coins in the chat if you want. I'm happy to check them out. This one's actually rocketing. Yeah, good on it. Yeah, so Pika is doing really well. That's awesome. Yeah, you can just see that. 150K. What about the? Yes, so 62K on the PLS buy side, 87K in Pika. So yeah, that's decent. That's way more than Johnny Chaos's Halloween decorations. That's for sure. You're starting to get into, like, you know, Motley's Hex Ring collection or something, or like whatever, you know, Richard Hart's daily purse, you know, the daily driver that he's got.
His caviar side dish.
Not his full purse collection, or handbag collection, but just the daily.
Yeah.
Feel free to help me out with these analogies, because you know, yeah, I don't know, my meat pie budget for the month or whatever, but it's got to be enough that it's, like, you know, substantial. Otherwise, we're not going to talk about your coins. One of the ones that I wanted to talk about was that Gray's currency one. This is very interesting because I talked about it a while ago and saying that it was above the 20 SMA on the daily, and that the moving averages had sort of converged and were now stacked. And then it's like it's done this big move. So, like, yeah, basically here. So it's up like 450%. But just be careful that it's just sitting on this 20 SMA.
Yep.
And if it closes below and also this crosses over, then I would be de-risking. How do I do it? De-risking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think some people might be anyway, because it's gone a little bit quiet just about over that, you know, these past, you know, daily schedules there, as you can see, the candles. I can sort of correlate that with the sentiment
rolling over.
Yeah,
you can see it rolling over, but it could also be a like a trinomial inflection, and it could go up, but or more likely this 10 is going to cross over the 20, and certainly if you see it close below the 20, which it looks like it's going to, then that could be the start. So be careful of that one, peeps.
Yep.
What other ones? I mean, SolidX has been fairly rubbish lately. It hasn't done anything. Like, sorry, Firewhale, but yeah, I haven't seen anything coming from that.
Everyone holding on for this crash game that's coming out.
Yeah, there's a game coming out. Yeah,
like also burn SolidX, apparent, I think, or something like that. Anyway, they're doing something with Ink and SolidX. So don't know.
Yeah, wake me up when it's starting to kick off again, because like it just, like, I'm excited about it, but it's not doing anything. Like, you just saw that chart, right? It's not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
there's nothing.
There's
no good setups.
Sleeping whale at the moment.
It's actually not even. That's not the proper chart. That I should probably pull up the proper one. But OMG looks good. Starting to kick off towards the election in November. So keep an eye on that one.
Yep.
So yeah, in terms of the Tangang coins, it's really just HOA that I sort of look at the most, and maybe Pika, but that's not even really Tangang. Funny how the Tron meme coins just became boring, like, really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a real flash in the pan. It was like, oh yeah, the sun, we're going to the sun. I can't be bothered.
Yep.
So yeah, interesting.
You know, with the pulse chainers, as you say, you know, we sort of hold it long and strong, you know, and just keep going, whereas other people's attention just seems to drop pretty quickly and they just all fade away.
Yeah. And that it's an attention marketplace. That's what we're sort of trading in a sense.
Definitely.
This is Pepe. Still doesn't look great.
I'm not too excited about that one, to be honest.
No, not too excited. What about actual other chain meme coins? Like, let's look at Brett. Oh, this is probably the SolidX chart that I was looking at. I want to see what Pepe on ETH is doing. Let's just look at this. Oh, so Brett's doing not much. It's just going sideways and sitting there. Yep. Yeah, Base is a bit of a flop, I reckon. People talked up Base like it's going to be the next Solana, and then it was like, no, Tron is going to be the next Solana. And it's like, yeah, okay. But I haven't seen a lot of pumpage from any of these, really.
I really think that's just because crypto at the moment is just this big cauldron of just money going around in itself. There's no new money coming in. So everyone's just trying to chase, chase whatever the new one is, the new hype, and then they move back out. And they either they get some gains or they come out at a loss and then try and chase the next pump.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think it's like economic energy. Like there's only so much energy in the system.
Yeah.
And it's like if it's a closed system, then it's just finding its way around like musical chairs. And then eventually you get busts and bull pockets. But until you get that influx of liquidity come through, and we're starting to see that with the money supply and all that sort of stuff. So I think there's positive in the future, but still not there.
That's right.
This is SolidX. So this chart I think was a little bit better. It looks like it's formed a bit of a bottom. So maybe worth snagging a few just for shits and giggles. This is Pepe on Ethereum. It's started to go on a moon mission. I think we were talking about this.
Yeah.
It was like here or something. It would have been last Friday.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was going up. But then it's just obviously come back down and looks like it's closing below the 20 or around about there. So even Pepe on ETH. But most things on ETH really have been doing poorly.
Pretty much. Yeah. Not too exciting, really.
Maybe there was some sort of consensus where they just went, when I say they, like, whoever the whales are or whoever the people in charge of the SAC, well, it's not even the SAC wallets, but whoever's been buying up the price on Pulse was just like, we'll just bond our liquidity to Ethereum and we'll just, you can even track Ethereum's price, like using bots and things like that and buys and sells, because they thought Ethereum was going to rocket. So by bonding it to that, it would be really advantageous going from the Ethereum ETF. But then it's just because Ethereum's been so shit, it's like they've just abandoned that. They're like, screw that. We're gonna go on our own moon mission,
pretty much,
and just go without it. So yeah,
way of looking at it. Yeah,
interesting to see. And certainly the trial, it'd be interesting to see what happens, like in terms of whether it's going to bleed into the trial or what it's going to do. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Exactly. We got 3 more crypto happy hours to get through before we get some news. So going to be very interesting. Hey, Claz has some in there. You can read them. Meme coins. She wants to
That's so funny. Meat grinder in you. Ooh, I don't know if I want that. What's this? $6 like a
something
liquidity. I think one of the kids has got her phone.
Man, what are you teaching the kids? Or what are they being taught?
I regura for the culture.
I rug you for the culture.
I rug you for the culture. Sorry. I rug you for the culture. That's actually funny because I remember I got something from Alibaba once, and when I was doing the payment thing, the guy's name, because it was like an Asian name, but it basically spelt out, I'm a fucker you. And I was like, wait a minute, what? Am I about to get stitched? But I really needed that part for whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I lose my money here, I've got no one to blame but myself, because the guy's name is literally I'm a fucker you.
Wow.
And then, but it turned up, it was just his name. It wasn't a rug. But I was like so sure. I was like, oh, is he trying to tell me something?
Funny as.
Anyway, to be clear, this made up coins. I hope you lick your fingers after. Jesus.
Goodness me.
This is a family-friendly show.
Getting full on, class.
Okay, I might have to all right, I'll stop talking. I'm really well. How are you? Okay, people are just chatting. Let's go and enjoy our weekend. It is Friday afternoon. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks True Blue. Thanks Space Radian.
Yeah, thank you.
And always a pleasure. Thanks chat, Replay Gang. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before we head off?
No, have a good weekend, folks. And yeah, thanks for
Awesome.
watching. Always great. So yep, have another good week. Bring on the green bubbles.
Let's go. Thanks everybody, and catch you next week. Cheers.
Catch.